Abundance begins long before anything shows up in your bank account, your opportunities, or your environment. It begins in the quiet space of your mind, in the way you think about the world and your place in it. Most people never realize this. They believe abundance is something external, something you receive when life finally decides to be fair to you. But abundance is not a gift handed to you. It's a mindset you cultivate. It's a lens through which you look at reality. When you change the lens, the world itself changes. A scarcity mindset is built on fear. Fear that there won't be enough. Fear that opportunities are limited. Fear that if someone else succeeds, your chances shrink. Fear pushes people into competition for resources they believe are fixed. That's why you see jealousy, comparison, anger, and resentment. Scarcity makes people hold on tightly to whatever they have because they think it might disappear. But the truth is, most of what matters, ideas, creativity, solutions, impact, growth, is not limited. The world becomes bigger or smaller depending on the scale of your thinking. Abundance thinking starts when you begin to trust your ability to create value. When you believe that your mind, your creativity, your effort, your skill, your perspective can produce something meaningful for the world. Once you realize that value is not taken from others but created from within, competition becomes irrelevant. You stop measuring yourself against people who are simply playing their own games. Instead, you focus on building your own capabilities. Someone else's success becomes proof that success is possible, not proof that you're behind. Most people never access abundance because they're trapped in inherited beliefs. They were raised hearing phrases like money doesn't grow on trees, life is hard, rich people are lucky, or opportunities don't come often. These ideas get wired into the subconscious, shaping how people interpret every setback, every possibility, every moment of their lives. A scarcity-trained mind sees problems everywhere. An abundant, strained mind sees potential in the same places. The difference is not intelligence, background, or privilege. It is the internal narrative you've accepted. You don't shift to abundance by forcing your mind to be positive. Abundance is not blind optimism. It's clarity. It's the awareness that the world is filled with problems waiting for solutions, inefficiencies waiting for improvement, needs waiting to be fulfilled. Everything you see around you, every building, every tool, every business, every form of technology, started in someone's mind. That simple recognition shows that abundance comes from human imagination and execution. Once you understand that, you realize there's no limit to what can be built next. You step into abundance when you stop asking, "What can I take from the world?" and start asking, "What can I create that the world needs?" Ideas are infinite. Creativity is infinite. Human potential is infinite. But you only access these infinities when you believe they exist within you. Otherwise, you stay locked in self-doubt, convinced that your role in life is to survive instead of contribute. The reason abundance begins in the mind is because your thoughts determine your emotions, which determine your actions, which determine your outcomes. If your thoughts are rooted in limitation, your actions will be cautious, fearful, small. You won't take risks. You won't develop skills. You won't build anything meaningful. You'll protect the little you have instead of producing the lot you're capable of. But when your thoughts are rooted in possibility, your actions become bold. You start investing in yourself. You start experimenting. You start learning. You start building. These actions compound over time, creating opportunities that once seemed out of reach. Abundance thinking isn't about pretending everything is easy. It's about knowing that everything can be improved. It means seeing yourself as a creator instead of a consumer, a contributor instead of a competitor. You approach challenges differently. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of saying, "This is too hard," you say, "This is where growth begins." Scarcity minds see failures as dead ends. Abundance minds see failures as training. The real shift happens the moment you stop seeing wealth as money and start seeing wealth as freedom, knowledge, creativity, health, relationships, and the ability to shape your own reality. When you internalize that true wealth is built from skills, discipline, and ideas, you stop waiting for abundance. You start generating it. And once you start generating it, life naturally expands around you. The opportunities come, the confidence grows, the results follow. The world mirrors the mindset you carry. So if you want abundance in your life, it has to begin where everything else begins. Inside your mind, skills are the real engines of abundance. They are the tools that turn your time, effort, and creativity into something the world values. When you understand this, you stop chasing quick wins and start investing in capabilities that compound over your lifetime. Most people spend their lives trading hours for money because they've never built skills that separate their output from their effort. They rely on hard work alone, but hard work without leverage is just exhaustion. Skills are leverage. Skills multiply the impact of every hour you spend. They are the force that allows abundance to accumulate even when you aren't actively pushing. The most powerful skills are the ones that scale, skills that allow you to create once and benefit many times. Coding is an obvious example. A programmer can write a piece of software once, and it can serve millions. Writing is another. A single book, blog, or idea can travel across the world without you being there. Designing products, building systems, creating content, solving complex problems, understanding human behavior, these skills don't fade. They compound. They grow in value with every project, every attempt, every failure, every new insight. The world changes fast, but skills that generate leverage remain timeless. Communication, creativity, strategic thinking, storytelling, leadership, decision-making. These are abilities that amplify every opportunity you encounter. They help you move through life with clarity and confidence. When you combine them with modern technical skills like programming, automation, analysis, or product building, you become unstoppable. You stop depending on someone else to give you permission to succeed. You carry the tools within yourself. People often ask what skill they should learn, but the truth is simpler. Learn the skills that excite your curiosity, that challenge your mind, that make you lose track of time. These skills naturally become your strengths. When you enjoy the process, you practice without force, you improve without resistance, and over years, that consistency compounds into mastery. No one can compete with someone who enjoys the thing everyone else finds hard. Compounding is the hidden magic behind skills. In the beginning, progress feels slow. You learn a little today, a little tomorrow, and it seems like nothing changes. But every bit of learning builds on the last. Over time, your understanding deepens, your intuition strengthens, and your execution sharpens. You reach a point where what once took you days now takes you minutes. What once overwhelmed you now feels natural. This is the moment abundance starts to show itself, not as money, but as capability. Capability gives freedom. Freedom creates opportunity. Opportunity brings rewards. People underestimate how much compounding transforms their lives because they are trained to think short term. They want immediate results. They want quick success. They want recognition today. But mastery doesn't show up overnight. It grows quietly in the background. The world only sees you once the compounding becomes impossible to ignore. That's why people call others lucky without realizing the years of skill, building that made that luck possible. Skill creates luck. Skill attracts opportunities. Skill turns effort into results. The most important shift is understanding that skills don't just make you valuable, they make you independent. When you have skills that compound, you are no longer dependent on the economy, a boss, or circumstances. You can create, build, and contribute in ways others can't. You can adapt to change because you understand how to learn. You can walk into any environment and figure things out because you've trained your mind to navigate complexity. This independence is the foundation of real abundance. The modern world rewards people who can learn quickly, solve creatively, and execute efficiently. We live in a time where knowledge is freely available. Everything you need to master a skill is already online. Courses, books, mentors, communities, tools. The only barrier is your willingness to show up every day and improve by a small percentage. If you can commit to that, you're already ahead of 99% of people. When you choose to invest in skills that compound, you make a long-term contract with yourself. You decide that your future deserves the effort you put in today. You accept that the journey will be slow at first but exponential later. You understand that the world will reward you not for trying, but for becoming exceptionally good at what you do. And once your skills mature, abundance becomes automatic. You don't chase opportunities, they find you. You don't search for wealth, you create it. You don't wait for success, you grow into someone who attracts it naturally. That's why learning skills that compound is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. It's a commitment to building the kind of person who can generate value anywhere, anytime, under any circumstances. Your skills become your invisible army, working with you, for you, and long after you've stopped working for the day. That's when abundance shifts from being a dream to becoming your reality. Value is the true currency of the world. Not money, not status, not titles. Value. When you understand this, your entire approach to success shifts. Instead of asking how you can earn more, you start asking how you can contribute more. Because the world pays you in proportion to the problems you solve, the lives you improve, and the impact you create. Every product you use, every service you depend on, every piece of technology that makes your life easier exists because someone created value for you. And this is the path to abundance. You increase your own prosperity by increasing the prosperity of others. Creating value means building something that makes life better for someone else. It doesn't have to be world-changing at first. It can be small, a tool that saves time, a message that inspires someone, a service that reduces stress, a solution that makes a task easier. Value starts small but grows through consistency. The more people your work touches, the more valuable your contribution becomes. You don't have to be extraordinary to start, you just have to be useful. Usefulness is the seed that grows into abundance. The world shifts the moment you stop trying to impress others and start trying to help them. People are naturally drawn to those who make their lives better. Think about anyone you admire: entrepreneurs, creators, inventors, leaders. What do they all have in common? They gave the world something it didn't have before. They solved a problem others couldn't. They created something that scaled. They focused on contribution rather than comparison. The greatest fortunes in history were built not by taking, but by giving value at scale. That's the blueprint. Unfortunately, most people approach life with a "what can I get?" mindset. They look for shortcuts, hacks, loopholes. They focus on extracting value rather than creating it. This leads to frustration because extraction is limited. You can only take so much before the opportunity dries up. But creation is limitless. You can create new ideas, new systems, new solutions endlessly. When you shift from extraction to creation, you step into a game where the opportunities never end. You open doors instead of waiting for them to be opened for you. To create value that truly matters, you need awareness. You need to pay attention to what people struggle with, what frustrates them, what slows them down, what they wish existed but doesn't. Every complaint is an opportunity. Every inefficiency is an invitation. Every unmet need is the beginning of a business, a career, a creative path, or a breakthrough. The world is full of people searching for solutions, and if you can provide one, you become indispensable. The key is to focus on value that can scale. Helping one person manually is a good start, but helping 1,000 or 1,000,000 through your product, your knowledge, your service, or your innovation is where abundance begins. Technology amplifies your ability to serve. A message posted online can reach millions overnight. A piece of code can run 24/7. A digital product can be purchased repeatedly without more effort. A system you build once can operate indefinitely. Scaling is the multiplier that turns value into abundance. But value also requires sincerity. You cannot fake caring about others. People can sense authenticity. When you genuinely want to help, your ideas are clearer, your work is more meaningful, and your motivation becomes internal rather than external. You take pride in what you create because you know it matters. Meaning fuels mastery, mastery fuels impact, and impact fuels abundance. Creating value is not always easy. It requires patience, skill, awareness, empathy, and persistence. You have to be willing to iterate, fail, adjust, and improve. You have to let go of the fear that what you create won't be appreciated. Every great creator once started with something small and imperfect. The difference is they kept improving, they kept listening, they kept serving. Over time, what they built grew into something meaningful. When you make your life about adding value, something powerful happens. Opportunities begin to find you. People reach out to collaborate. Doors open on their own. You become someone others respect, trust, and want to work with. You build relationships not based on transactions, but on contribution. You develop a reputation that compounds over time. This is how abundance truly forms, not from chasing rewards, but from becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts them. In the end, abundance flows toward those who create value consistently, authentically, and at scale. When you help others win, life helps you win. When you build for the world builds for you. When you focus on improving lives, your own life improves effortlessly. That's the fundamental truth. If you want abundance, give the world something it didn't have before. The more people you help, the more abundance you invite into your own life.